Hi, I'm Dr. Patty Barch, a traditional naturopath and owner of Naturally Unbridled Wellness in Onalaska, Wisconsin. The information presented here is for educational purposes only and is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prescribe for any disease or condition. Today, I'm here with Jennifer, who is generous enough to share her very, very moving story about her breast cancer experience. So Jennifer, tell us your story.
All right. So thank you very much, Patty, for having me here today. So my story really starts probably a couple of years ago. And I started going to Patty for an annual thermography exam. And they were coming back okay, kind of noting that there might be something that I needed to consider on my right breast. Well, this last year, January of 2021, it came back and it said, you need to go in and have this looked at. And so being proactive, I decided to make an appointment with my general practitioner, who really kind of brushed my concerns aside, primarily because I was refusing a mammogram and was hoping to go directly to an ultrasound, which many doctors will say is the best route. And so I ended up having to kind of bypass my general practitioner to support my own healing. And I had to reach out to a nurse practitioner in private practice who ordered the ultrasound.
But
in
addition to what showed up on the thermography report, you also had a lump.
I did, yes. I had a palpable lump on my right breast, right, like almost on my chest wall. And so, yes, and so my general practitioner just kind of pushed me aside. And so I did find a nurse practitioner who was willing to write an order for an ultrasound. It still took me almost 6 weeks after that to get my regular clinic to agree to bypass the mammogram. So I did go in, I had the ultrasound, and they felt that it was something that needed to be biopsied, which I had a needle biopsy, which came back March 5th, saying that I had invasive ductal breast cancer, stage 2. So the biopsy results were stage 2 invasive breast cancer in the right breast that they said had metastasized to one of my lymph nodes, because they also biopsied one of my lymph nodes. So I got this news while I was sitting and having lunch with my husband. It just showed up in my portal, no explanation, no nothing. So of course you hear the dreaded C word and panic ensues. So the doctor called me and he said, you need to get in for surgery like right away. So they panicked me, of course. So I went in, I took another week and I did some research. I went in and I met with a physician's assistant who again was essentially panicking me into making some decisions. And one of the things that I want everyone to know is cancer is typically not an emergency. You have time to evaluate and to make decisions and to do your own research. And so I then took some more time to do additional research after talking with her, and I did decide to meet with a surgeon. The surgeon, again, had me somewhat panic-stricken and had me essentially signed up to have a double mastectomy with lymph node removal. I sat on that for a few days because I had scheduled it a couple of weeks out. And I sat on that for a couple of days, and I woke up at 2 o'clock one morning with a loud voice in my intuition saying, that is not the right decision to make. So I messaged at 2 o'clock in the morning. I sent a message in the portal and I said, I'm canceling the surgery. I need more time. I need to think through the process. In the meantime, I had done a variety of lifestyle changes, done some supplement plans, gone to a different diet plan, and I had contacted Patty and we met, did some herbal things. She gave me some things to take. I did Evox, which I cannot tell you enough good about, to help with some of my mind related things. And so I canceled the surgery. They called me the next morning. They were panicked. No, you can't cancel it. And so the doctor did decide that she would be willing to do a lumpectomy and a sentinel node removal, which means just taking out a few. I had the surgery on April 12th. By the time I got to surgery with the changes that I had made through my diet, my lifestyle, my stress reduction, going for Evox, some PEMF, and some other things, I had my lumpectomy, and the margins on the lump were completely negative. And the sentinel nodes, we were clear. So there was no cancer cells remaining in those lymph nodes with lifestyle changes. And so my intuition was right. I stood up for myself against what I call the standard of care, which we're individuals, and to follow a standard of care doesn't make sense for all of us. So I think we really need to learn to listen to our own intuition and what we feel that we need. I'm at this point looking at the cancer journey as a blessing rather than a curse. It helped me to reduce my stress. It helped me to find some healthier ways to live, even though I thought I was doing a pretty good job. And it really has improved my life in the long run. So at this time, I don't need any further Western medicine interventions. I am staying with all of my holistic protocols, and looking forward to living another 30 years or more healthy. So that's my story.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much for your inspirational story. I know that there'll be a lot of women who get messages like you received who will just like to know that there may be other options to consider besides rushing right into surgery for really radical mastectomy and other types of things that can be done, when in fact there may be other resources and avenues to consider that may have as good, if not better, results.
Correct. And the other thing to really keep in mind is that your doctor works for you, and they can offer their standard of care, which in Western medicine for breast cancer is essentially surgery, radiation, and chemotherapy followed by a drug intervention. Mm-hmm. But you have the ultimate say into how to navigate your own journey.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Jennifer. It's a great message, and I'm so glad that you shared it. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good day, Patty.
You too.